Barry with you? I mean, is it a brotherly thing, or is it sort of a business? I mean, is it both?
No, we're like that. We're so tight, it's ridiculous. I was don't want being that long away from him, to be honest with you. We're very, very close. The whole family is very, very close.
That's nice. I was just talking to Gladys Knight, and she's got the kids with her and everybody.
Right, she's a lovely
and the
woman.
family, like she said, the family around reminds her that this is just a job,
Mm-hmm.
and they're there to tell her.
Keep
that
bringing it
when
down to love, down to the
yeah.
right level, yes.
Is it, and it's, how do you keep yourself down to earth?
A very, very similar way, my family. I mean, I spend every second day just about with my parents. Or they come over to my house, I go over to their house. Also, I've got people around me, assistant-wise, that have been with me for many, many years. And they won't let me fly off the handle. They won't let me get up in the clouds. You know, and I don't go clubbing. I'm not a socializer. I don't party. Not anymore. I used to quite a bit. But not now. I'm kind of reclusive. I just keep to myself. And that keeps me on an even keel.
Tell me about working in Paris. I had the pleasure of sitting at the back of the theater and watching you, which I thought you were terrific. And I also saw you do Joseph.
Oh, you saw Joseph on Broadway?
I don't think there's many people in Toronto that can say that. Yeah,
well, I think I was far superior in Joseph. Far superior, I must say. And it was a better production all around. Well, I don't want to put down anybody in the show of Pirates because the whole cast were magnificent here. We just had a very, very cheap production budget. I mean, it was frightening. I mean, me and Barry Bostwick threatened to leave twice in the 2 weeks, the week we did it, 2 weeks.
Some show without the two of you.
Well, you know, after doing it at the Armisen Theatre in L.A. for Joe Papp, and we had the Broadway production in L.A. I mean, it was fantastic. It really was. The sound was magnificent.
What was it like for you to have a role like that? I mean,
it's great. I love Frederick. I love the role of Frederick. But I just want to say, when I was here, I got a lot of bad press to my throat because I was coughing up blood between shows. I had a terribly bad infection. And I was getting bad press from it. One person said, Barry Bostwick's so good, we can even forgive Andy Gibb's voice. Things like that. And to have a PA system like we had on top of my voice, I mean, it was murder. I got shouts from the audience some nights, people shouting me to get off. It wasn't a very pleasant experience doing Pirates here, I must admit.
People aren't understanding that. Like, they love you when you're up there.
Oh, yeah.
But when you just there.
I mean, they feel they paid the money to come in and see me. I should be on top form. And of course, I should be. But at least I made the effort to go out there anyway. At least I'm on that stage. I could be sitting back there with all notes from doctors saying I'm not going on. I made every single performance here. And
well, that's what's important.
But you should be on top form. It's just an unfortunate circumstances.
Doing Broadway, doing Joseph Papp. I mean, my gosh. I mean, could you believe it? How did you find out that you had the role and what happened?
Well, when we were doing Something's Afoot, we taped Something's Afoot up here at the Elgin, with Gene Stapleton and myself. And the director of the show was Tony Tenner, who directed Joseph on Broadway. He directed us up here. And I told him how much I loved Joseph and I'd been asked if I'd be interested in doing it. And at first Tony said, no, darling, you know, he's a typical choreographer. No, darling, I don't think you'd be right for the part at all. It's not for you, you know, because he's basically his baby, Joseph. And I said, you sure? And as days went by, as he saw me more in Something's Afoot, he started to think I could do Joseph. So I went to New York, I had lots and lots of rehearsals, went back to LA first, then back to New York. And you know something I shouldn't say I had lots and lots of rehearsals. I'm thinking of another show. I didn't. I had 4 days rehearsal. And I joined them in Philadelphia at the end of the touring company. I did a month in Philly and 2 on Broadway. And I was supposed to do another 5 on Broadway. And I couldn't handle it. My voice was just giving out again. I mean, it wasn't infected. It just couldn't take it every single night with like 40 singers behind you. So there was a lot of mixed press about that, about reasons for missing shows, but I just could not handle it. So it was a mutual agreement that I split and get out of the show. But I do miss that show.
Well, the jumping and I love
the music.
I love
the music
men,
is
but
just fantastic.
Music, and I went to see the film, and there's so much, and the music is great. So what songs did you like doing the best?
Are we talking about Joseph or Pirates?
Let's start with Pirates first.
Okay, well, Pirates, it's all great. It's all Gilbert and Sullivan. It's all fantastic. I like my big solo number. Oh, is there not one maiden breast? Use your own imagination. I got a funny story if you want to hear that.
Yeah, I do want to hear it. We want unusual stories too.
See, I did Pirates for Joe Papp in L.A., not in New York. And one night, Joseph on Broadway, which was not a Joe Papp production, Zeb Buckman production. One night, anyway, Barry Bostwick is just about to leave the stage and leave me on stage with Ruth, which was not a Joe Papp production, Zeb Buckman production. One night, anyway, Barry Bostwick is just about to leave the stage and leave me on stage with Ruth, my nanny, so to speak. And as Barry Bostwick's leaving, he said, I'm looking upstage, looking at Barry, so the audience can't see my face. But Barry opens up one side of his shirt to reveal the left side of his chest to me. I thought, what's he doing that for? And everybody's laughing in the wings. I thought, they're putting me off, what's going on? So I started to sing this song to all the maidens at the front. Oh, is there not one maiden breast? And as I looked beside one of the girls, there's a girl in the front row with her whole left breast hanging out. And everybody on stage knew it, but the audience couldn't see her because she's in the front row. And I'm trying not to look at her. Through the whole show, she had her one part of her bra down, and she had no idea. She had no idea at all. Of course, we were all in stitches.
That's just showbiz, and you had to keep your cool.
I kept my cool, but if I look stage left and right, all the cast are in the wings in stitches, doubled over laughing. No.
That training. How do you keep your cool in a situation like that?
You ignore everybody in the wings, and you just focus on where you are. Where you are in the show. And I mean, I was on the bridge just laughing my head off, but I don't think I ever showed it. I think I was totally collected all the time.
Joe, try to think back, people in the audience, to that night, to see if you could think of what.
Do you remember? I'll bet if she's listening to this.
Do you remember, lady, you almost ruined my career.
Yes. Yeah, I almost ruined yours.
Tell me about Joseph. An entirely different situation.
Entirely different show. That's the love of my life, Joseph. I think we got mixed up a bit before. Joseph was the one I said that mutual agreement I let. Pirate I did for 4 months and finished all the shows. Joseph was the one that I really wanted to stay on for, but it was just too much of my show. So, but again, it's the show that I love more than any other show I've done.
Why do you love it so much?
It's just the music. I mean, I think it's the best music Weber and Rice have ever written, even over Superstar or Evita. And it's probably the most unfamiliar music. Most people are very unfamiliar with Joseph's score. Excuse me. It's just so gay and bright, and the music.
Any funny stories about Joseph? Anything about the coat and that? Joseph is a big production.
Well, there was one night, but it's no real big. It's more funny at the time. It's not so much funny later. And that was, I came out, and we had a very good sound system on Broadway. And I came out, and my opening line is when I'm given the coat. It's, when I got to try it on, I knew my sheepskin days were gone. So I got the coat on, but I'm going to sing the opening line, and I think I can hear myself okay on stage, but I'm dead in the audience, not a sound. I'm just mouthing, and I can just hear the stage monitors. And so Sharon Brown, my little narrator, comes up running up to me, and she goes, "You can't hear you." And I go, "Oh, really?" So she said, "Use one of the shotgun mics on the floor." So I'm pointing to the shotgun. They still couldn't hear me. So Sharon actually walks out on the stage and hands me a little remote pack. The audience can see it. I've got the pack in my hand and a little mic in the other hand, which should all be in your shirt and in the back of your jeans or something. So the audience can see me fiddling with it, and there's still nothing coming out. And I'm fiddling with the mic in front of full view of the audience. And then I get up on a big rock at the back of the stage, and half the song's finished, just about. It's a shame. Then all of a sudden something happened, it clicked, and the place just went... It was so loud, it went boom. That was more funny at the time. Then I got a standing ovation because they got to hear me. Everybody stood up and gave me a big applause. And we did.
Okay, I'm wrapping it up. I don't want to say goodbye, Andy. Andy, tell me a Christmas story. We're putting together a Christmas. Tell me a Christmas story. Yeah, think about. I was going to.
We're not very Christmassy people with presents. Like what?
I don't know. Was there? Well, what were the different Christmases? Say in Spain, or do you remember Christmas like where the family?
I really can't remember any stories to be honest with you. But whatever we do, we're all so much split up now. Is that we try to make a point of all coming together for Christmas, every Christmas. Mm-hmm. Either we all go down to my brother's house in Miami, which is a strange place to have Christmas. But we're used to the snow, and like England has the snow, and America really is not a very Christmassy place. It was just a sweet story. I'm just wrapping up this one minute. We were at Robert Redford's house in Utah. He was a very good friend of mine, and it was actually not Christmas so much. It was just after Christmas, it was like the New Year coming in, mm-hmm. And we had a big party at Redford's house, and we'd been waiting for 2 months for snow. There'd been nothing, and we were packed. There was me, David Soul, there was lots of Jane Fonda, and it was all the mountains of Utah. He owns a big ski resort up there, mm-hmm. And everybody was very upset. Everybody was going to go home the next day because there was no snow. So I was just singing songs, everybody was listening on the floor, the fire was going. Dead on the stroke of midnight. He has a roof that's all glass. And you can look up, and dead on the stroke of midnight, Redford comes running in and said, "It's snowing." It was just very, very nice at the time. Everybody was going to go home. There was no snow. But we all looked up, the whole room was packed, you could see the snow until it covered the roof. That next morning we had 4 feet.
Oh.
And of course everybody stayed and we just skied for days. But I mean, at that night it was a very touching story.
Yeah.
The people had tears in their eyes. It was just almost like out of a movie. Q came right for the time.
My cue is telling me I have to say goodbye, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
And we'll do this again
I hope so.
soon, I'm sure. You are wonderful. I wish you continued success in everything that you do.
Thanks
and I
very much,
admire you
love.
and respect you a great deal.
Thank you.